we call the collapse of 2009, and it collapsed. It collapsed in March, and the equity markets around the world just unraveled. What happened since then? Well, the government, the U.S. government, has either lent, spent, or guaranteed over $11 trillion to bail out the big guys. And this is a global bailout, by the way. We know they keep talking about China this and China that. How about China with stimulus and China dumping trillions into their system over the last 11 months in easy lending policies to keep this thing afloat over there? And then go around the globe. It's from South Korea to Japan, from the UK to Australia. Government after government has been dumping trillions into the system, loaning money to banks, taking worthless collateral to secure the debt, and just trying to keep this whole thing afloat. We believe that in 2010 that the stimulus will wear off. There won't be any end game to play anymore. You can't keep printing phantom money out of thin air. And the crash is going to happen, unless, of course, they come up with another scheme undreamed of. Because, after all, who would have ever thought that America would have devolved into this, where they put the people generation after generation into debt to bail out a few favored friends?
Let me ask you, Gerald, because you and I both agree we're in a depression here. And they're trying now to make it sound like we are coming out of a recession, right, magically. And you talk about this money printing and the effect of the money printing wearing off. Can you just talk about that a little bit more? Because we really didn't get anywhere with that money printing. That was really all just sort of the initial theft or looting of the country by the bankers, correct?
It is. It's the biggest, we say, it's the biggest bank robbery in American history, but the banks are doing the robbing. Let me just go through the facts. Overnight in 2008, they turned Goldman Sachs, that venerable investment bank, now how about casinos that gambled and lost, into a bank holding company. Why? Well, so they could borrow at ridiculously low rates, and they could be given approximately $10 billion to put them on the road of gambling. And then what happened? It's not that they're a bank. You go to a Goldman Sachs ATM machine? Do you have Goldman Sachs checks? Do you go to your Goldman Sachs branch? It's highway robbery right in front of us. They're nothing more than a hedge fund, and they're making money off the sweat of the American people. So when we're looking at this time and time again, we're just looking at all of this printed money going absolutely nowhere other than into the pockets of a few. And as you pointed out, it did nothing really to resuscitate the economy. How did the economy grow? Let's look at the facts. Remember cash for clunkers? Remember the tax credits that they've given for first-time home buyers that they're now extending into April of this year? Before they announced that it was going to happen, that they were going to extend it, those that were going to buy houses or planned on them rushed into the program so they could get their piece of it, fearing that it wouldn't happen again. And now we saw what the result. Now we're seeing housing starts way off. We're seeing new mortgage applications way down. We're seeing a revision of what they're saying that we got out of the recession. I loved it. Third quarter GDP growth, 3.5%. Well, let's readjust that a little bit. How about 2.8%? Now I have a better idea. Let's wait a little longer and lower it to 2.2%. And they keep doing this over and over again. They either cook the books, hide the numbers, fudge them, fix them, but the people don't know what's going on. It's like boiling that frog in the frying pan, as they used to say, turning up the heat a little bit at a time so the frog doesn't know it's being boiled to death. And that's what's going on, and that's why we believe that in 2010 you'll find out that the frog is dead. The economy's failed. The system has crashed.